Hey guys, what's going on? Today is August 2nd. I just wanted to share with you something I just completed the other day. My first PSA submission. I actually submitted 21 cards for the July special of $18 per card. That's 18 US dollars per card, so for me it was a little bit more than that, but it's the lowest it's been in a while, and I thought it would be a good time to send off some of the cards that I've really been waiting to send. I'm really not sure what that... I just had it in between some cardboard here. I'm not really sure, whether or not this was a good idea or anything. I had a lot of cards I wanted to submit. Some of them probably weren't worth sending it at 18. Some of them probably could have went in at 30, but I figured I would just double down and, you got to jump into swim. So I just put together my 20. It was just supposed to be 20, but I managed to actually happen upon another card worth sending at the last second. So anyway, and I have to send them off, and I haven't because I've been busy with school. So I placed the submission just a couple of days ago, really. Yeah, it was the 29th, so I literally just made it in. So we're going to start off here with, you know what? I'm actually going to do it. I'm just going to put them down. Probably be easier. So yeah, first off, we got this Espeon and Deoxys GX tag team. It's like the special art version from Tag All-Stars. You'll have to forgive me, the card savers are very dirty and dusty right now, but this initially wasn't going to be... This is one of the cards that I kind of pulled out, that I just added to bring the total up, because I originally was going to send in the pre-release Vivid Voltage, Charizard, and Lugia, but then I checked the pricing on their PSA 9 grades because they weren't 10-worthy cards, and they were like $90 for the Charizard and even less for the Lugia, and I was like, maybe that's not really worth sending in then. Let me see if I have something else. And I was like, you know what, I really like this card, and I think I'll send it in. So unfortunately, it does have a print line going right across the top here. I don't know if you can catch that. So it probably might not get a 10, but it's just a card that I really like. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, the back is... We talking new back Japanese here, so, it's pretty much perfect other than that print line. So kind of expecting a 9 on that. I don't know how harshly they grade print lines these days. I've seen some Koro VMAX Pikachus with print lines with 10s, so I don't know. We'll see, but that's a card I really like. It's just kind of in there as some filler. We'll get into the next card. Next up, we have this gold shiny Houndoom card. And I want to say I do have a very intense mixture of cards in here. We kind of start off with modern, and then it gets older and older as we go back. We got some English, some Japanese, some promos, some all kinds of different cards. So if you're interested in seeing a nice diversity of cards, I've got it here. The only reason I included this card is because I pulled it myself. And I pulled it, and I was like, oh my god, this card is so perfectly centered. I don't think I've seen an English card that well centered, just out of a pack in so long. And of course, it looks great on the back too. Just deep blue, no whitening, good centering. So I was like, this is a 10 for sure. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to send it, because I pulled it myself. I probably wouldn't be grading this card had I not pulled it, but... Here it is. I'll send it in, see what we get. It's got to be a 10, right? Come on. Anyway, cool card. I like Houndoom, but... Next up, we have special delivery Pikachu. This is the Pokemon Center Canada opening promo card that was released in, what was it, November of 2020? Something like that. It was available. You guys know the story. I won't tell it again. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. But yeah, this is the copy that I got. I only got one copy because I didn't have a lot of money. I was in school at the time, and I didn't really think to do more than one. I just wanted the one. Unfortunately, the copy that I got is a little bit banged up, so it does have some sort of... It's hard to show on camera, but there's some weird print defect going on here. It's not quite a print line. It's like a vertical, like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know, but it's definitely in kind of rough shape. Other than that, print line, the front looks pretty okay. It's a little bit off center. And then we'll turn it around and through the dirty, dusty card saver. There's a little bit of whitening, so I mean, depending on how harshly they grade whatever this little print defect is here that you can't even see, print line type thing, this could get a 9. I kind of was expecting it to get an 8, but looking it over now, it does look like it could get a 9, so fingers crossed it'll get a 9. That would be really cool, but I'd also be happy with an 8. Kind of expecting an 8, but who cares either way, right? Right, this is a more recent one. We have a Gold Star Umbreon from the Japanese Celebrations promo packs. This is a card I really, really like. I just thought it was really underpriced. I actually planned on grabbing a lot of them, but at this time, I only just have the one, and it's in pretty damn good shape. Yeah, so I'm hoping that this can get a 10. I'll check out the back. There is something wrong with it. Okay, you can't even tell. I can't even find it. There was like something. There was some whitening on the back somewhere. I remember seeing it when I bought it because I look at my cards very closely. I don't know. There was some sort of whitening somewhere. I can't even see it right now, so who knows? It wasn't like terrible. It was just a very minor, like I look my cards up and down very like intensely. I'm very harsh on my cards when I pre-grade. So I thought this would get a 9, but I was hoping for a 10. Looking at it now, I mean, I literally cannot see anything wrong with it other than like maybe mildly being off center, but not enough to ding it down, I don't think. So, I mean, hell, fingers crossed we get a 10, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came back a 9 because that's what I was initially expecting. So next up, we have a Rescue Teams Pikachu. This is the Mystery Dungeon DX Switch Remaster promo card. I'm a huge fan of the Mystery Dungeon series. I definitely got this card on launch this game on launch when it came out. I played the originals when I was a kid and the Explorers games and everything there. Fantastic. So I just knew I had to have this card. It's come down quite a bit in price since I purchased this copy. I think I bought this copy for like $50 or $60 in the winter. And it's actually come down to around 40, I think. So I'll probably go and pick up another couple of these, but for the moment, I just have this one. And when I got it, I looked it up and down, and I was like, yeah, that's a 10 for sure. There's nothing wrong with it except for, again, maybe a little bit of front centering. So hoping for a 10 on this one. But yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm hoping for a 10. I really can't see much wrong with it. So that's that. Next up, this one's a bit more recent. This one's also probably the most dodgy one in the sense of like maybe not the right service level. It depends, but I'm not 100% sure. Probably not quite the right one, but it's okay. This is the Player Ceremony 2019 card, illustrated by Himeno. They're all illustrated by Himeno. They all have amazing artworks. Actually, the 2022 one was just, I don't know if it was leaked or revealed or what happened, but I'm pretty sure it was PFM, I think it was, posted about it on E4. That one looks pretty incredible and pretty amazing. This one, I just purchased this one because I wanted to get the whole set, but this is the most expensive one aside from the 2018, which is the first one, and I couldn't afford the 2018 one, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to start here. I bought the card raw because I was like, yeah, I'll roll the dice, and so I think this one's probably going to get a 9. There's nothing like terribly wrong with it. It is new back Japanese. It like maybe if you want to nitpick, there's like a tiny little whitening dot just along the top there. But mainly I'm thinking because of the front centering here, it's just like a little bit off. I never know how to tell top to bottom on the stadium like trainer cards because I find they always have thin tops. Like, I don't know, I think that's just how the cards are designed, but from left to right, it's also a bit off center. So expecting a 9 on this one. But just look at that. Fantastic card, right? Just incredible. That one was, yeah, that's probably the most expensive card. in this submission, the one that's the most, because like if that comes back in 9, it's probably, I want to say, around a $400 Canadian card, which obviously overshoots the $199 value tier. But I was like, you know what, a lot of these are under, and you don't get charge downs, you only get charge ups. So I was like, you know, I'll roll the dice, I'll send it in, see what happens. Next up, we have a Scream EV promo. I bought this one last summer, actually. I don't really know why I didn't just buy an already graded copy. I think at the time they were like kind of still a little bit expensive. I think now they've come down enough that if I were to go back into Screams, I would probably just buy the rest of them graded. But I decided to take a risk on this one and buy it raw and see what happens. Obviously, this one's off-center from left to right and from top to bottom. It's a bit thicker there and there. Other than that, you know, it's Japanese new back again. Usually the only thing going to hurt you is centering and maybe some like mild whitening depending on who's handled the card. But so I'm expecting a 9 on this one. I actually paid a lot of money for it. Not like a lot of money. I don't know how much would be a good deal. I think I ended up paying like 150 Canadian for it. And if it grades a 9, like hopefully, I don't even know how much the 9s are worth, but yeah, anyway, I'm expecting a 9. And that's going to be that for that. So we're kind of moving back in time a little bit. That was 2018. Now we're going to take a nice jump way back, and this is going to be kind of crazy. You're going to be like, okay, this is way over the value tier. Why did you submit this card? I submitted Jolteon Gold Star. Now, the reason that I submitted this card is because this card is from my childhood collection. So this card is in pretty terrible condition. So I'll flip it over and you can see it's pretty messed up. It's pretty gnarly. It's got a lot of whitening. I'm pretty sure it also has like a bend or like a crease somewhere. So it's probably going to get a 6 at most. I'm actually expecting probably closer to like a 4. I don't know how the lower grades work. In PSA, I feel like I have a decent enough grasp on like the 7 to 10 range, maybe 6 to 10 range. And then once we go below that, it's kind of just like, I have no idea. So yeah, the reason I submitted this was because it's just a beat up gold star, but it's a gold star anyway. So you have to, submit it. And I figured this was probably the appropriate tier level because it's probably going to come back like a 4 or 5 or something. And then, then it'll probably be in and around the maximum value. We'll see. So there's that. Pretty cool, actually. I don't even know how I got that card. Like a lot of my childhood cards, I don't even know where they came from. Like, I don't think I pulled that, but whatever. We actually have another gold star coming up as well. We got the Vaporeon as well. Super cool card. This one is in significantly worse condition. I mean, I don't know if I'd say significantly. Like, I don't know how much worse it could really get. Well, I mean, you'll see actually how much worse it could get. But yeah, so this one's also in pretty poor condition from my childhood collection. It's got some, I don't even know, some damage there that, like, I don't know if they'll even grade this because of those black spots. I think that's just for, like, I don't even know. I think it's just like stains and like dirt and stuff, but I don't even know. I was initially thinking this would get like a 3, but it might just get a 1, to be honest with you, because it's pretty beat up. It does also have a bend that you probably can't see, but it's like, where is it? Oh yeah, well, there's a corner bend there as well, and then I'm pretty sure there's a bend right here. So this one might just be a poor 1. I'm really not sure where this one's going to go, where either of the gold stars are going to go, but I figured I might as well grade them, and then I'll probably just sell them and collect the money. So next up, we have Lapras EX. I bought this one in the fall. It's just a really nice card. I really like these early, thick border EX cards, original Pokemon EX era cards. They're just so beautiful, It's what I grew up collecting. I mean, not the thick border ones. I came in a bit later, but I grew up collecting the original EX era, and so there's always going to be a place for them in my heart. You also got a nice little swirl right there, which is pretty nice. The reason I'm submitting this is because it's in relatively rough shape. Not terrible, but it's definitely got some whitening on the corners there. A little ding, ding, ding. Maybe some surface scratching going on. I only paid like 25 or 30 bucks for it. So it'll probably come back an 8, maybe a 7. And that'll just be cool to kind of have in display because, like, look at that foil. It's crazy. Okay, next up we have kind of a big hitter. This one's competing with the Player Ceremony card to on most valuable, and a couple other ones. But here we have a Gengar EX from the Fire Red and Leaf Green set. This card is fantastic. I love this card so much, man. It just like brings back so many memories, and like the silver with the purple, it's so clean, and the sparkle is, look at that. Come on. Look at that card. What are you talking about? Now, I bought this card. I actually paid a lot of money for it. I bought it for like $200 off a like Canadian card website, and I got it, and it's in pretty okay condition. Like, it's got a little bit of whiteness, and there's some surface scratching. So I was kind of expecting this card to hit like a 7. Honestly, I was expecting this card to hit an 8. I'm hoping this card will get an 8. That would be really nice. I've looked it over a couple times, and like there's some spots that I'm not really sure. Like, I don't really know if it's whitening or if it's just the way the card edge looks. But anyway, so hoping for an 8 on this card. If it goes above an 8, then it's way out of it's in the wrong value tier, but I'm not expecting it to. So next up, we have a Tropical Wind. This is a 2004 World Championship promo card. It is the version with 0. I don't know why I said 0, with no stamp. So this is the spectator version. This is the only year where they had a version with no stamp like this, given to spectators. Normally you had to participate or be a staff member or something like that to get a copy. And it's just like, you know, Tropical Wind. Come on. This is such a beautiful card. It's got that beautiful Kizuki artwork. And this is just amazing. And I just think it's incredible. I actually found someone who had a bunch of like near mint copies, and like they're quite mint, like mint. So I'm expecting these cards to go 9, because I actually bought a couple. So I got one. I bought one for like 100, and then I bought 3 for like 140 or 150 each. So the only thing holding these ones back is probably going to be the front centering. All of them are very clean, so I'm probably feeling like I'm gonna get 9s on most of these. Show one more. So I got 4 in there, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll send them all out right now, and we'll see what we get. So next up, we're getting into the end here. Next up, we have a Shadowless Charizard. Yes, it is very beat up from my childhood collection. This is why I'm sending it, because in this tier, because look at it. I don't even know if they're going to grade this. Like, I don't even know if they can authenticate a card that's this damaged, but, you know, I figured I would try because it's probably worth something, right? It's from my childhood collection. I'll probably sell it, take the money, and put it towards maybe buying a better condition, like a PSA 8 Shadowless Zard or something. Next up, we have a Shadowless Hitmonchan. This one's pretty cool. I actually bought this for like $30. This is a Shadowless base set holo in near mint condition for $30. You can buy like a PSA 8 of this card for like, I'm pretty sure they're like sub $100. Like, that's kind of crazy if you think about it. So anyway, I bought it for $30. It's in pretty clean shape, honestly. Like, there's nothing really wrong with it. There's maybe a bit of whitening, some hollow scratches off center. So expecting an 8 on that one. Speed it up. We're almost running out of time here. Next up, I have my base set Venusaur. This card's actually really clean. So this is just unlimited though. There is a few things with this card. It kind of has like, not really whitening, but it kind of almost just has like these kind of rough cut white edges a little bit in some areas. But other than that, like, it's very clean. So I'm hoping for a 9 on this card. When I first got it, I thought it might be a 10 candidate. That's still to be seen. Who really knows? I have no idea, but I'm hoping for a 9 on this card. Next up, this is actually the card that was more recent. I just happened to be at a card store, and I was like, oh, can I see that Blastoise? And I looked it up and down. There's no holo scratches. Some mild whitening on the back. It was $50, so I was like, yeah, I can't complain about that. So expecting that to go a PSA 8. And I also have another one, which I'm hoping will also go PSA 8. That would be really, really cool. This one I paid a bit more for, but still, I'm probably going to end up selling both of them. So both the Blastoises will go 8. Maybe the first one will go 9 if we get really lucky. Who knows? Then the last card in the submission is Blaine's Charizard. I got this card off a friend who was selling his collection. It was $50. It's very mint. The centering on the front is a little bit off, but other than that, I'll show you the back. The back centering is a little bit off too. But, I mean, there's also, you can't see it in the card saver, but there's a very mild kind of like surface scratch on the back here, but you really can't see it unless you like hold it up in the light outside of the sleeve and like look at it on the perfect angle. So, yeah. This is a very mint card. Aside from that little scratch on the back, there is nothing wrong with it, and also like minor miscentering. So I was originally hoping this card would get a PSA 10, but then I discovered that little scratch on the back, and I figure unless it's missed, it's probably going to get a 9, which I'm still very happy with. A 9 on this card is amazing. This one's for the personal collection, definitely. A lot of these ones are, but this one's definitely for the personal collection. I have most of Gym Challenge right now, graded Japanese. It's like one of my favorite sets. So yeah, this is a really big hitter card that I'm glad to have graded myself, and hopefully will be in good enough shape to add the collection. So yeah, that is my full 21 card PSA submission for my July 2022 special. And when it comes back, we'll take a look at the grades together. We'll see how I did. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's my first submission. Really excited. I'm going to send these out tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys next time.